Hello everyone, welcome back to Neurodiverse Vessel Says. I'm your host, John Arroyo. And Raw was really good this week because we had a lot of Lucha takeover, because we had the rest of the Lucha tournament for round one, because next week we're going to get the semifinals. So they finished up round one in a really good way, having two number one contender matches to lead into the semifinals that I really liked it, as well as La Primera went at it with Becky Lynch once again. Lyra Valkyria is going psychotic and I love it. So let's Chad Gable and Rey Mysterio put one hell of a show, and the Bloodline seems to be falling apart right before our eyes, and I cannot wait to see the downfall and how it will lead into Mexico and as well as Worlds Collide, because it's more stuff coming from it as well. So I cannot wait to talk about it. So before we do, please like, comment, subscribe, and now let's get on to the review because it's a lot to cover. So first, we open up with La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer, coming out saying that Liv Morgan should give her the world title or else she will beat the living out of her and her girls, because Liv, she is the worst person alive, taking her out. So Liv shows up with her girl saying that she doesn't need to defend the damn title because she's the best woman of all time, and she's about to break the record for the longest world heavyweight champion in the women's division. So technically, if she still wanted to, she still didn't need to really defend the title because she's the best woman of all time. And Stephanie says fight her like an actual woman instead of hiding behind her girls. And Liv says, okay. And then she fights Stephanie, but we all knew that Roxanne and Raquel was going to get involved. So Stephanie needs to fight them all off. She kind of does, but then the numbers game get involved. So Becky Lynch helps to take them out. But then Becky and Vaquer starts arguing because they do get in each other's faces while brawling, almost fighting each other. And Liv and Raquel use that with Roxanne to take them out, really using the mind games. And we do see that backstage because later in the show, we do see Stephanie does say that she got a match next week with Roxanne because she wanted to deal with Roxanne first before going after Raquel. And we see Becky Lynch say, get out of her face and do not get involved with Liv. She can deal with the other girls. She's going after Liv. And Vaquer says she's working her way up to Liv. And Becky Lynch says, let the best woman get to Liv first. And she wishes Stephanie kind of good luck. And I kind of like this. So we maybe will get the unlikely pairing of Becky and Stephanie taking down Liv's group of girls before facing Liv. I really like the storyline, and I really want to see how this goes, this three-person storyline in the women's division. Then we see the Usos happier than ever because Solo was forced to join them after making the stupid deal after losing this dumb match of last week. It was really stupid. Oh my god, it was the worst segment of last week. And Solo looks like how everyone feels. Like, what the hell? Solo is literally in the trenches, dying. And they walk up to LA Knight. Solo looks like he's praying to LA Knight for safety or some type of like holy escape. And the Usos kind of rub it in LA Knight's face that the Bloodline gets whatever they want. But later to find out that the Bloodline had something coming up they didn't expect or plan, and I kind of liked it. WWE kind of swerved us, and I liked it. I thought they was going to go the usual route, but I kind of liked how they kind of did a 360, and we would talk about that. I thought they was going to go a certain way, and thank God they didn't. They did the under thing, and I'm really happy about it. Then we got JD McDonough versus Javon Evans. And Javon Evans was pissed from last week of Big Cass keeps attacking him and even getting involved in the tournament. So Javon Evans took out that anger on JD McDonough and kind of just popped off on him. I kind of liked it. Kind of flying around like a firecracker, showing this new aggression that I keep talking about. Javon is really showing off. And he hits a run and dive on the outside. Really cool. Just sending JD into the crowd, but it seemed like he kind of got a little injured with a leg, so JD used that to beat the hell out of him. Javon did get some momentum back, but then Dominic got involved, but that didn't stop Evans, and Evans was able to hit an OG cutter for the win. But we knew that Big Cass was going to show up, demolish the hell out of him, and Evans grabs the mic saying that that's only that Cass has. He can deal more damage, he can handle more. So Cass comes back, Evans fight back. But during the fight back, Dominic and surprisingly JD gets involved, helping Cass beat Evans around like a rag doll. And I thought it was really interesting, especially because Dominic haven't been in a storyline. So if this is a way for Dominic to get back on Raw or on the main show more than just AAA, I'll be happy, because they only really use him for AAA. So hopefully this leads Dominic in some type of storyline on Raw. But it was a really interesting segment. Then we got the World Heavyweight Tournament Round 1 match of Rey Fénix and La Fiscal in a really great match, because it was La Fisca's first time in a WWE ring, so it was his WWE debut, and I kind of liked it, and it was a really good showcase for him, and I liked it. I want to see more luchadors, and we also had an Honor WWE, Monday Night Raw debut for an Honor Superstar, because he already made a WWE debut, but I like this tournament, because some superstars are getting Raw or WWE debuts, and I kind of like it, because we're getting them making it more into the WWE program and not just AAA, and I kind of liked it. So La Fiscal had his first WWE debut, and I kind of liked it, because they did a really nice video package, and he came out, he looked like a star against Rey Fénix, and he had one killer match. I think one of my favorite matches so far in the tournament overall, because right away, La Fiscal and him went back and forth. La Fiscal hit a crossbody, hit a drop kick, but Rey Fénix was built different. Doing the lucha run kick on the ropes, I love that. Hitting a dive on the outside, going all out, but then La Fiscal used more of his power moves. Arsenal hitting a standing moonsault drop. I liked that on the ropes, as well as hitting some power bombs, but Rey Fénix was able to outmaneuver all of it and hit a Phoenix driver for the win. I really liked this, and I can definitely see how this is going to go into the finals, because we do see later in the show, we do see Rey and Penta talk backstage, and I'm not surprised if those two will be the last two men in the tournament, because it makes more sense for the Lucha Brothers to fight each other to see who will face Roman Reigns, especially with the Bedros Del Mal storyline on AAA kind of coming to Raw, and we would definitely talk about that in the main event closing segment, especially what happened with the Bloodline. I can definitely see that also being an other factor of why Bedros would be a perfect time to attack in the next 2 weeks on Raw. Then we had Ruca and Lyra Valkyria finally. Not so Ruca versus Raquel or Roxanne or Sol and Io. We actually had a different type of matchup for once. And it was goddamn good. Because, guys, Lyra's character, she did a 360 and I love it. The messed up hair, she looks sick. She looks like she's on something, if you know what I mean. Like, she looks like she's been taking something. I don't know what. But she looks great. Her new... I don't know, Lyra needed this, and it's so good. The way that she was just scratching, pulling Lyra Sol's hair, beating her up, kicking her on the mat, screaming. I don't know, this Lyra is so good. Like, her character work is so good. I like how she's more getting in people's faces. She's really playing with the crowd. Lyra was so aggressive in the ring, too. Hitting some crazy moves like that German suplex and, like, her kicks, they seem more aggressive, and I like that from Valkyria. Valkyria seems more like the war goddess that she was promoted in the UK and when she first came to NXT. I like this Lyra. I don't like babyface Lyra. I like this like mysterious type of Lyra, and we're kind of getting that back, but more in like a heel way, and I like it. But Sol also popped off as well, hitting some really cool innovative moves. I don't really know why they don't book Sol well. I guess because she's not... It's rumors that she's not used to the main roster, but she is a star. I feel like she has potential. I just feel like they don't know how to book her right, because her gimmick is a surfer, or like her gimmick is so nuanced. I just feel like you just need to like give her time. she's going to become a star. So it's worth it. She's one of the greatest women in the ring. Great back and forth. I love how Lyra hit her drop kick on the outside and then back in the ring. Soul out of nowhere hits a DDT. That was impressive into a soul snatcher for the win. Really good matchup, and I would love to see both of these women in a mini feud to see who will face Raquel for the Intercontinental Championship, or maybe throw Raquel in the mix. But I love how this woman division is getting pushed more, and I want to see more from this mid-core division. Then we got Bron Breakker calling out Femi because he just is not understanding, and he's mad that Femi is the new person of the franchise. So then Heyman comes out saying that, hey, Brock said he is. I kind of believe Brock because Brock was the monster of WWE. If the monster of WWE says he's the new star, he's the new star. Then Oba comes out saying that, why do I have to explain it to you? I love how Oba kind of made fun of Breakker, actually doing Breakker's voice. It was kind of funny because he literally mocked Breakker, and I think Breakker was kind of surprised too. He nailed the voice perfectly. I don't know how, but Oba did a really good impression, really funny. And he was just like, it's obvious, like, I'm the future face of the company. And Breakker's like, no, I am. I like the great back and forth they had, saying that the accomplishments they had in the short career they had. And Heyman being the mastermind, kind of saying that, hey, like, I want to be the manager, whoever comes out on top, because we know Heyman. He loves the newest face. He loves being in charge of the rising star or the it person. He says in the next 2 weeks, what about they have a match in Atlanta, most likely as Saturday night's main event. So we can see where this is going. He shakes Breakker's hand because Breakker says, oh, okay, I see you're on my side. But then he also shakes Oba's hand. And Breakker seems pissed. But at the same time, we don't know who Heyman is actually working with. So this is going to be very interesting. Or Heyman is going to backstab both men. But I really like the storyline because now Heyman is involved. So if both men fighting for the approval of Heyman, this is going to get really interesting. Then we had the honor round of the last first round match of the World Tournament for the championship. So we had Dragon Lee versus El Nino de Dr. Wagner Jr. in a really good matchup because it was Dr. Wagner Jr.'s first match on Raw. Like what I said, it wasn't his first WWE debut, but it was his first Raw debut, and I kind of liked it. Like what I said earlier with La Frisca, it's either their first WWE debut or the first Raw debut, so I kind of liked that. So kind of the same thing is Dr. Wagner Jr.'s first time on Raw. It was a great showcase for him because he's been on NXT sometimes. So this was really great to see him. And he was also a breakout star, and I kind of liked it. Having more of the AAA guys kind of take over Raw, I kind of liked it. Kind of preparing ourselves for Worlds Collide, because let's be honest, we're heading into Worlds Collide. People need to know who are these luchadors. And I loved it. Wagner came out hot, like straight up like gunning. He hit that pyro driver and then that big boot to like Dragon Lee like it was nothing, almost taking him out. Then Dragon Lee went flying around, hitting his double stomp off the top rope in the Tree of Woe, and then a double stomp springboard, just amazing. Both men were flying back and forth outside and inside the ring, but Dragon Lee was able to hit a sunset flip power up bomb for the win. And I really like this, and I am surprised that Wagner Jr. didn't win over, but at the same time, I can see why they want the more known wrestlers to go over, especially for the WWE fans, especially for the tournament. But I really thought Wagner Jr. was going to go over because he's one of my favorites, and I watch AAA. If you watch AAA a lot, Wagner Jr. seems more popular, but it makes more sense that they want Dragon Lee to go over, because it makes more sense, especially if it's for the world title. They want more of the names that are more known, and I'm not surprised. But it's going to be really interesting to see who faces who. But it's like what I said, I'm not surprised if Fenix and Penta are going to be the last two men in the tournament. Then we got the Intercontinental Championship match with Chad Gable and Rey Mysterio as the main event. And boy, best match of the night. As well as it shows how Chad Gable is the wrestler of the year, because why the hell did he keep putting on spectacles? Really good matchup. And y'all, Rey Mysterio looked like he haven't missed a day in the ring, especially being the new GM of AAA. He haven't been wrestling a lot, but he can still go at the age of 56. This man is almost 60, and Rey Mysterio is hitting it like it's no tomorrow. Hitting that Parakarana, hitting that top rope, spinal tap dive on the outside. I don't know. Rey Mysterio is one of a kind. I love this man. Rey Mysterio is the GOAT of Lucha for a reason. He was like a firecracker. I'm like, I don't know what Rey Mysterio does as a workout routine or whatever, but Rey Mysterio did not miss a beat. He was on fire. I'm like, God damn, Mysterio does not age. He was going to town on Chad Gable. But halfway through the match, Chad Gable just leveled up like no tomorrow, hitting an angle slam off the top rope. Like major Kurt Angle vibes, and then hit multiple suplexes to Rey, just ragdolling him around. Then both men went back and forth with train wrestling. It was getting pretty intense. But then Rey Mysterio was able to hit a 619 into a frog splash. I thought that was the end of the match and Rey was going to win. But Chad Gable out of nowhere was able to kick out and then reverse it into a leg lock, keeping Rey Mysterio in the leg lock long enough for the WWE legend to tap out. In a really cool, amazing match, and at the end, they both shake on it to show respect, and it does show that Chad Gable is getting the recognition that he finally deserves. And a really great match, and it shows that Chad Gable is pretty much the wrestler of the year for WWE, having killer matches back to back. And I can really see him holding the Intercontinental Championship until pretty much next WrestleMania. And then to close off the show, we had the Bloodline bringing back Solo Sikoa. So we had Roman Reigns show up, telling the WWE Universe that Solo was a backstabber, and he's bringing him back in. But not without dealing some punishment, because in the Bloodline, if you betray them, you have to deal with the consequences. So he tells Jacob to choke the hell out of Solo, almost taking the air out of Solo, screaming at him, saying that he's worthless, and without him bringing him in the company, Solo was not going to be able to get the fame and glory that he should have had. Pretty much saying that Roman is the one that feeds people on the table, and if you disobey him, you don't get nothing. Kind of like doing like a public Soprano style like beating, like mafia beating in front of the crowd. It was just crazy. And then Roman tells Solo to beg for forgiveness. Solo kind of does, kind of like he sadly has to, kind of in a way. So Solo had to cave into the Bloodline, kind of admitting that he needs the Bloodline, so then they all realign. And then it seems like the show was going to close off there, but then LA Knight comes in trying to beat up Roman in the Bloodline, but he gets taken out, and then Jacob Fatu was going to choke him out, but Roman wants Solo to hit LA Knight, and it seems like Solo was hesitant because, LA Knight and Solo has kind of had a friendship going on, and Solo had enough. He literally punched the hell out of Roman, knocking him out, and I think it was all a ruse because LA Knight starts laughing, and Usos look shook, and Solo does the whole bang bang, like, hey, Uno reverse flip, and then he pops off on the Usos with LA Knight and also beats up Roman, while Jacob Fatu does not help Roman or the Usos at all. And it seems like it was kind of their plan, that if Solo did not win, hey, this is a way that we mess with them. So I think that Solo plan was, if he did not win the match, LA Knight and Jacob had something planned already. I felt like something like this was planned out with keys a long time ago. And I'm not surprised if Solo talked to Fatu a while ago about turning his back on the rest, especially when Fatu needed to fall in line. So I'm not surprised if in the next couple of weeks we're going to find out more and more of the Bloodline. It's going to start falling apart, especially before the match in Mexico, because I feel like that's when the Bellos, the Mao will show up, if especially Penta will be the one facing Roman. Because Worlds Collide is not too far after. I think this is going to make the Worlds Collide the biggest thing, because I think WWE is about to do something crazy, and I feel like this was the first drop of blood that shows us that the Bloodline is falling apart quicker than they seem. And that's pretty much my review of all. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.